Personality disorders and the scapegoater. Scapegoating is a deeply destructive family dynamic where one individual is unfairly blamed for problems that may have little to do with them. Often, the person perpetuating this behavior, known as the scapegoater, exhibits patterns that reflect underlying personality disorders. These disorders, such as narcissistic personality disorder, NPD, borderline personality disorder, BPD, or antisocial personality disorder, ASPD, shape how scapegoaters view themselves and others, often driving them to deflect accountability and project their issues onto someone else. Understanding the role of personality disorders in this behavior helps clarify the motivations behind scapegoating and its devastating impact on the victim. Narcissistic personality disorder, NPD. The need for superiority. Narcissistic personality disorder is characterized by an inflated sense of self-importance, a deep need for admiration, and a lack of empathy. People with NPD often believe they are exceptional and entitled to special treatment. Beneath this grandiose exterior, however, lies an often fragile self-esteem that depends heavily on external validation. They may react with intense defensiveness, anger, or blame-shifting when their image of perfection is threatened. In the context of scapegoating, individuals with NPD may create a scapegoat to protect their ego and maintain their illusion of superiority. By blaming one family member for the family's problems, the narcissist deflects attention away from their own flaws or mistakes. This allows them to uphold their self-image as faultless or morally superior. For example, a narcissistic parent might target a child who is particularly talented, independent, or empathetic, qualities that the parent either envies or perceives as a threat to their authority. By diminishing this child's achievements and exaggerating their shortcomings, the narcissist ensures that the family dynamic revolves around reinforcing their own superiority. Borderline personality disorder, BPD. Fear of rejection. Borderline personality disorder is marked by emotional instability, intense fear of abandonment, and difficulty maintaining healthy relationships. Individuals with BPD often experience rapid mood swings and may alternate between idealizing and devaluing the people around them. Their behavior is typically driven by a desperate need for emotional security and a fear of being rejected or abandoned. Scapegoating by individuals with BPD often stems from their emotional dysregulation. When they feel overwhelmed, they may lash out at someone close to them, projecting their inner turmoil onto that person. This process allows the individual with BPD to temporarily manage their own emotional pain by externalizing it. For instance, a parent with BPD might scapegoat a child during moments of emotional crisis. They might accuse the child of being ungrateful or causing unnecessary stress, even when the child has done nothing wrong. The scapegoat becomes a target not because of any specific actions but because they are perceived as a safe outlet for the parent's overwhelming emotions. Antisocial personality disorder, ASPD. Manipulation and control. Antisocial personality disorder is characterized by a disregard for societal norms and the rights of others. Individuals with ASPD often exhibit manipulative behavior, a lack of remorse, and a tendency to exploit others for personal gain. Unlike those with NPD or BPD, people with ASPD are typically aware of the harm they cause but feel little to no guilt about their actions. In scapegoating, individuals with ASPD may use the dynamic as a deliberate tool for manipulation and control. They might create conflict within the family to isolate the scapegoat and maintain dominance. Their behavior is calculated and often involves pitting family members against one another to reinforce their position of power. For example, an antisocial family member might spread lies about the scapegoat or intentionally provoke conflict to ensure the scapegoat remains marginalized. This manipulation allows the antisocial individual to maintain control over the family narrative while deflecting blame for any dysfunction. The connection between personality disorders and scapegoating. While each of these personality disorders manifests differently, they all contribute to scapegoating in specific ways. At its core, scapegoating is about projecting blame and deflecting responsibility, both of which align with the behaviors and thought patterns associated with these disorders. Narcissistic scapegoaters use the scapegoat to preserve their self-image and maintain control over the family dynamic. Borderline scapegoaters lash out impulsively, often driven by fear or emotional dysregulation. Antisocial scapegoaters manipulate the scapegoating dynamic as a calculated strategy to maintain power and control. These behaviors often coexist with a lack of empathy, making it easier for scapegoaters to inflict emotional harm on their target without remorse. Breaking the cycle. Addressing scapegoating requires a nuanced understanding of these personality disorders and their impact on family dynamics. Therapy can play a crucial role in helping individuals with personality disorders manage their symptoms and develop healthier ways of interacting with others. However, this requires the scapegoater to acknowledge their behavior and commit to change, something that may be particularly challenging for those with NPD or ASPD. For the scapegoat, healing involves recognizing that the blame they've internalized is unjustified. Therapy can help scapegoats rebuild their self-esteem, process their trauma, and develop strategies for setting boundaries with toxic family members. Support groups and online communities can also provide a sense of validation and solidarity, reminding scapegoats that they are not alone. Personality disorders such as NPD, BPD, and ASPD play a significant role in shaping scapegoating dynamics. By understanding the motivations and behaviors associated with these disorders, we can better address the root causes of scapegoating and support those affected by it. While the journey toward healing is complex, it is possible for scapegoats to reclaim their sense of self and break free from the harmful patterns that have defined their lives. Through awareness, therapy, and support, both families and scapegoats can move toward healthier, more compassionate relationships.